have a look at an interesting brand of pen, I think. B.R.E. B.R.E. has been around for a while, based in the UK, and does very interesting things because they make pens out of silver, sterling silver. I've reviewed the B.R.E. Retro Grand quite a while ago, and I've also reviewed the B.R.E. Viceroy Grand with the Victorian finish. And today we'll have a look at the Viceroy Grand with the Barley finish. That's it. Aziza gave me this as a gift, and she picked it up at La Couronne du Comte. Now, if you're interested in one, don't forget that on my website there's a 10% discount code for La Couronne du Comte. Okay, that Victorian finish I mentioned just now is very, very interesting. It requires a minimum of 2,000 hammer strikes to put that into the silver. So these are handmade pens, at least to an extent handmade, and I think very, very interesting craftsmanship goes into them. So I'm going to have a look at the pen. I'll show you the parts of the pen, I'll tell you what I like about it, what I don't like about it, and then I'll do a writing sample. Comes in this box embossed with the B.R.E. logo. In there is this box, and I really like this. Simple black box, works very well. Nice little shiny silver colored clasp. You open it up, and then in a comfy little bed is your pen. I'm going to take out the comfy little bed and look at some other stuff in there. There is the guarantee and user guide. It's not super extensive, but it has some information on the warranty and such, and a little instruction sheet on how to use the polishing cloth. These pens are silver, at least to a large extent. The Retro, for example, has a sort of a plastic sleeve on it, but this is all silver, and it will tarnish. That's just the way silver works. So you can use the inside of the cloth and then the outside of the cloth to polish it, and your pen will get very, very shiny again. Some people, of course, like the patina. It really depends on your preferences. And here we have the pen. It is a substantial pen, but it is the Viceroy Grand. There's also a pocket version and a standard version, which are clearly smaller, and especially in the case of the standard, also a bit thinner. But here we have the Viceroy, the flagship model, which then comes in a, I think actually only two finishes. There's the Victorian, and there is this Barley. So let's have a look at it. Top, whoops, sorry, I was a bit too close. Top of the cap, you can see it's silver. It's very reflective, which is very nice. I like this old style clip. It's a bit vintage looking, 2 rivets and all. It has B.R.E. on there, and it's it works. I mean, no issues with that. They leave a little bit open, which you can have engraved, and the rest is in your chosen finish. In this case, the Barley has a nice bit of texture to it. I also like these rings. Then we have on the cap and barrel a whole bunch of hallmarks. You can look up what all those mean online. And of course the 925 is 92.5% silver, making this sterling. I really like this finish. I think it's very, very neat. It's the issue with these types of finishes are they're the kind of stuff that makes you, it's almost like an optical illusion if you stare at it for a while. A very interesting pattern. Finally, made in England. It actually says so on the cap band. I don't know how well you can see that, but it's there. And then a little bit of sort of rings there, nothing at the ending. Okay, cap pops off, large section, and where a lot of sections are hourglass shaped, this is actually barrel shaped, and I find that very comfortable. It's just very pleasant to hold. Also silver, works very well. And then a nib. The nib is actually 18 karat gold, and I remember a long time ago when I reviewed my first B.R.E. I bought it in a shop, and I was told that the nib was silver, and I thought it was strange at the time. But in the review I said it was silver. People said that's impossible, it can't be. I emailed B.R.E. and it was actually the CEO of B.R.E. who emailed me back and said no, it's not silver, it is 18 karat solid gold, and we nickel plate it to make it match the trims of the pen mold. I find it very interesting that the CEO of a company actually emails the customer back. I mean, I can come up with some brands where you can try that and you would just not get a response. So, very, very nice. I like the nib. It's a number 6 nib. This is a medium. I have a broad on the Victorian finish. And I think it's just simple. Simple, nice. It says yard lead, 18 CT, so 18 karat British. 750 for the gold content, M for medium. And it even says right below the nib, oops, I don't know if you can see that, but right there on the little band, it actually says 925 sterling. And then of course you have a feed, which is nothing spectacular. Simple feed. And these pens are cartridge converter filled. You have a little rubber ring there, which is not to convert to an eyedropper, but it's just there to keep the barrel in place, because it's metal on metal. Actually a good thing. When you get them, they can be a little tough to operate, so I put just the tiniest dab of silicone grease on it, not Vaseline, because that would destroy the O-ring, but just silicone grease, and it operates very, very smoothly. Nice, big pen, heavy. It's silver, and you feel the weight of the silver, but it's very, very pleasant to use. I find this that barrel-shaped section to be very, very comfortable. As you can see, it's a big pen. You can post it too. It posts securely, and the cap is almost flush with the barrel. There's a lot of attention for detail in these pens. And there you have it. What do I like about it? What do I not like about it? There's a lot to like about yard lead. I don't own 50 yard leads. In fact, I own 2. I had a third one which I sold, not because there was anything wrong with it, simply because I didn't use it as much anymore since I got the Victorian finish Viceroy ground. But I am very, very impressed by yard lead. All 3 of their pens I had wrote flawlessly out of the box. Nice, good, wet ink flow. Pretty much no skipping. Of the nibs I have used, this one may be the one that has an occasional hard start, but also a bit of a function of the paper and such. And to be honest, I'm very, very impressed. I have seen considerably more expensive pens recently that wrote a lot worse. So I'm very impressed. It's basically 100% score when it comes to writing performance. The nibs sing. Not everybody likes that, but that's just too bad. I mean, it's what they do. Very, very good writing performance. Also nice number 6 nib, looks good, feels good. The broad nib is an absolute pleasure to use. The medium nib on this is very pleasant to use, and I think they are stellar. So performance-wise, I'm very, very impressed. Secondly, the looks. I'm not a silver collector. I'm not a guy who has all kinds of silver, well, we call it silverware in the home or anything. But it's kind of hard to go wrong with this. And if you don't like it, just use it, and over time it will patina, it will become duller. I don't use that in a negative sense, but it will not be as shiny anymore. And there is some appeal to that too. I kind of like it shiny, so I keep polishing it. But very, very nice. The size, the weight, the shape, the comfort, the attention to detail makes these pens a real joy to use, and not just this particular model, but all of them. My experience with the yard lead has been very, very good. Things I don't like so much. This in particular is a bigger model, but as I said, there is the Viceroy standard, there's the pocket, and then there is the Grand. Clearly, if you buy the Grand, it's a bigger pen. It's just an oversized pen, and I love it. I think it's fantastic, but I can see how for some people it would be nicer to have a slightly smaller pen. Well, then look at the standard or look at the pocket. That's pretty much all I can come up with. Now, as you can probably guess, these pens are not super cheap, but this one goes for 750 euros, and I don't think that's that terrible. If you look at the fact that it's solid sterling silver, it has a nib that writes flawlessly. Yes, just a cartridge converter, nothing fancy there. Cute little box, comes with a polishing cloth. It's not a cheap pen, but the craftsmanship is there. And if you take into account that the Viceroy Grand, which has those, as I said, those at least 2,000 handheld hammer strikes, that pen isn't even, I mean, that's about, I think, 100 euros more. for basically a handmade product, I don't think that's that bad. Think of some, say, German pen brands who make pens that are very, very pricey, and look at the fact that this is handwork and that it's perfect. I think it's kind of hard to beat that. And that's all. I don't have anything else I dislike about the pen. The clip is a bit quirky, maybe, but I like it because it fits. It's right. And that's it. So we need to see how the pen writes. That's what's coming up next. High resolution pictures as well as measurements of the pen will be on the website sbrebrown.com. Hope this was useful so far, and I'm glad to see you later. Bye bye. Okay, so here we go with the B.R.E Viceroy Barley. The nib is medium, and the ink is a Mont Blanc Irish green. Very nice. Smooth writing. The paper is rhodia and very, very pleasant. Fast writing. Only skip was right there. So I don't think that's particularly bad. Wetness. I think this is just a well-adjusted nib. It's not a gusher, it's not super dry, it's just very pleasant. Line variation. There is some, but you have to squeeze quite a bit to get that out. If you really want to, you can do reverse writing. Turn this medium into a fine without issue. And there you have it. So, I hope this was useful. Very nice pen. And I'll gladly see you later. Bye bye.
Bye.